The Premier League on the 6th of February charged defending champions Manchester City with more than 100 breaches of its financial rules after a 4-year period of investigation into the Manchester-based club. This comes barely a few weeks after another European club side, Juventus, were also found wanting for various financial irregularities and were hit with a heavy 15 points deduction in the Serie A. However, in Manchester City's case, the citizens have been accused of breaching more than 100 Premier League financial rules between the period of 2009 to 2018, and it took the league body a period of 4 years to carry out this profound investigation. Now, if we walk through memory lane, you will remember that Manchester City were bought over by Sheikh Mansour, who is a member of the Abu Dhabi United Group. The wealthy United Arab Emirates billionaire, whose net worth is around £17 billion, bought Manchester City from Thai businessman Thaksin Shinawatra for £210 million on the 1st of September 2008. The deal was a defining moment in the history of Manchester City Football Club, as they immediately became a force to reckon with in Europe due to their financial muscle as a result of the backing of their new owner. Meanwhile, the citizens weren't aware that eyes have been on them for quite some time, as their financial dealings have been under investigation starting from 2009, which appears to be 1 year after Sheikh Mansour took over the club down till 2018. What actually went wrong with Man City? The citizens have now been accused of allegedly providing inaccurate and false financial information to the Premier League, thus misleading regulators about the club's source of revenues, such as its sponsorships, income, and operating costs. There have also been alleged dissimilarities found in how much the citizens paid former manager Roberto Mancini between the period of 2009 and 2013. Also, salary figures of various players at the club, which they are required to report to the league between 2010 to 2016, have been greatly questioned. Not only that, Manchester City have also been accused of playing smart and breaking the Premier League rules on profitability and sustainability at the club from the period of 2015 to 2018. Meanwhile, it's worthy of note to recall that this isn't the first time that the Premier League club have come under investigation for financial irregularities. Recall that Manchester City were previously investigated by UEFA for allegedly breaching financial fair play, or FFP rules, between 2013 and 2018. However, the club had a 2-year ban from European competitions overturned by the Court of Arbitration for Sport and were fined just €10 million as at that time. Such a decision made former Manchester United manager Jose Mourinho to label a disgrace and an end to financial fair play. In his words, in 2018, Jose said, "I think it's going to be the end of the financial fair play because there's no point. If City's not guilty, the decision is a disgrace. If City are guilty, the decision is also a disgrace. It's a disgraceful decision because if City are not guilty of it, then you're not punished with £10 million. If you're not guilty, you shouldn't have a fine. If they are guilty, the decision is also a disgrace and you should be banned from the competition. I don't know if Manchester United are guilty or not, but either way, it's a disgraceful decision." Despite the allegations against the defending champions and the evidences put forward by the Premier League, Manchester City have now come out to claim their innocence and have pledged their support to cooperate with the relevant authorities for a proper investigation. A club statement thus read, "Manchester City is surprised by the issuing of these alleged breaches of the Premier League rules, particularly given the extensive engagement and vast amount of detailed materials that the EPL has been provided with," the club wrote in response to the allegations. The club welcomes the review of this matter by an independent commission to impartially consider the comprehensive body of irrefutable evidence that exists in support of its position. As such, we look forward to this matter being put to rest once and for all. Next line of action for Manchester City. The citizens have reportedly hired renowned lawyer Lord Panic Casey to help defend their case against the panel that have been set up to hand possible sanctions against the club. It will interest you to know that Lord Panic Casey was in charge of the Partygate saga that involved former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The Premier League has now referred Manchester City to an independent commission that will determine any possible punishments for their alleged wrong actions. The hearing consists of a 15-member commission appointed by the Premier League's judicial panel and will be held privately and confidentially. The judicial panel is said to consist of either sitting or retired judges, attorneys, and football administrators. Also, City will not be able to appeal any decision that may arise from the panel, unlike that of the Commission to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which did overturn a 2-year ban that was slammed on them by UEFA in 2018. Possible sanctions or punishments that could hit Manchester City. Although there isn't any specified punishment that the panel could slam on Manchester City should they be found wanting beyond any reasonable doubt. However, there are a couple of possible sanctions that the independent commissions which has been set up can leverage on, in line with some rule violations listed in the Premier League bylaws. Going by Section W.51.4 of the Premier League's official rules and regulations, the following sanctions could be slammed on Manchester City. A fine of unlimited quantity, suspension of a club from playing in league matches with an unlimited time frame, point deductions, replays of past matches, permanent expulsion. There are already internal fears at Manchester City that a harsh sanction could affect the future of some of their key players and even manager Pep Guardiola. Recall that the Spanish tactician gave his voice to his club's financial investigations last year. In his words, he stated, "I said to our people, tell me about the suspicions. I looked at them and believed them 100% from day one, so I defended the club because of that. The moment I feel something is wrong, I will resign or not renew my contract." Guardiola is, however, contracted to Manchester City until the summer of 2025. It is left to be seen if the Spanish tactician will quit his role as manager of Manchester City should they be found wanting of financial irregularities and thus hit with a heavy sanction by the Premier League. Do you think Manchester City will be found guilty of financial irregularities? And what punishment do you feel will be best handed to the defending champions? Please do well to drop your opinions in the comment section below this video and let us know about your own choice. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss our future videos.